Do you like basketball? Basketball 너무. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast talking about every team every week. If your team is still active in the postseason and if you're subscribed to the Patreon, really by the end of this, we're straight up going to be talking about two teams. So, I guess the name every NBA team every week, that'll be a complete misnomer by a couple weeks from now, I think. I'm Jack, aka Joestar. With me, as always, the world famous Pablo Escobar. Pablo, how you doing today?
Well, listen, at now everybody is talking about every team every week, but they weren't in the trenches with us. They weren't in the trenches when Trey Mann had his big week, when Grant Williams had his big week in Charlotte. They weren't there when
they weren't talking about Tristan Vukcevic, baby. They weren't there.
Man, when Sanogo dropped 20 and 20 on 20 shots.
I was in the building, baby. He dominated them. It was crazy. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's just buff as hell. And I mean, the Wizards didn't have anybody buff enough to stop him. So I guess that's the modern NBA that we're living in. It's if you're strong, you'll probably win. Fuck it. I mean, at least that's how Minnesota's doing things. But we're not talking about Minnesota today, thank God.
We're not talking about the Nuggets being frauds, Jokic getting out.
Fake as MVP in a million years. And they're announcing the MVP later today. So I'm really looking forward to that discourse that stomped at home twice. Now you're the MVP discourse. It'll be at least he already has the ring and everything, but it will be a little 2007 Dirk-esque, I'm feeling.
Should he give the trophy to Anthony Edwards? We'll discuss tomorrow on the Patreon. Make sure
Patreon.com/State of the League, baby. Right now, you're getting Derrick White discourse. That's all we got for you on this episode. Hell yeah. I have a lobbyist request to ease us in. It's tangentially Derrick White, I suppose, through the city of Boston. Josh Lerman, not Logan Lerman, wants to know thoughts on the roast of Tom Brady. I didn't watch the roast of Tom Brady. Did you?
From Derrick White to white trash. I did not watch it, but
nice.
I am aware of some of the things that were said because one of my friends was talking about it, and there was like an article written about it, and it was crazy. So apparently they still live in like 2007, and so it was a bunch of people like Julian Edelman and all these comedians and all these football adjacent people. They said the F word, they said the F slur, they were saying a bunch of mean offensive stuff, and then this guy tweeted, he's like, yes, we're so back, the F slur's back, and then that got like 100,000 retweets. But yeah, it was bizarre because there were some weird moments. A guy got up there and he said he made a joke about Robert Kraft and the massage parlor. You know about that?
Yes, I believe he paid for a quote unquote happy ending massage.
Yeah, something like that. And then this guy Jeff Ross, he made a joke about it. And then Tom Brady went up on stage. He's like, "Don't ever say that shit again." And then
he was dead serious.
He was like, he had like a smile on his face, but he seemed angry. He seemed like he was not taking the entire thing well at all. Like I kept seeing clips where they brought up the Giselle divorce, and he looked uncomfortable. And my friend was telling me that everyone kept saying he was gay. Everyone, and like he told me Julian Edelman said, and Tom Brady's not gay. I'm not joking. They'll say it's because I'm drunk. But I'm not joking. He's gay. And then, apparently other people were saying that too. And
hell yeah! And that made him mad as fuck.
Yeah, they were saying he's gay with his trainer, with his like culty trainer. And then, yeah, I don't know. It just seemed weird. It seemed like a very 2007 MTV type event. Or I guess Comedy Central, that's where they were. It seemed like out of place. Like all the guys on stage, they were like, yes, this is so sick. We're back to these kinds of jokes. And I saw there were a few that were funny. Like they what's her name? Nikki Glazer. She made a joke about him losing a bunch of money on crypto, and
Hilarious.
she's like, even Gronk would be able to tell even Gronk wouldn't fall for that. Me, no, that's not real money. And then apparently, my friend told me Gronk was like really insulted by that. And then, so yeah, it seemed like a group of people who are all friendly but have a lot of animosity towards each other under the
Hell
surface,
yeah.
and they let it out, and like I guess it's jokes, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
See,
I will not be going back and rewatching it. Apparently it was 3 hours.
well, that's just poor editing. I mean,
No,
that's
it
too
was
much.
live on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fucking stupid then. 3 hours? I mean, yeah, that's too much. I was gonna say I would never. Comedy Central has approached me. They've been like, "Dude, let us throw you a roast," and I'd be like, "I'm too sensitive, guys. I know I would not take it well. It's just I'm not built for that kind of environment." Tom Brady, he should know. He should know better. Because he
I
does
don't think
seem.
anybody has ever benefited from having a roast. It seems they do it to show people. They're like, hey, I can laugh along. I can
Mhm.
joke around.
I
with
think
people.
Donald Trump might have. I think that might have been a pivot because, like, I feel like he got roasted like late 2014 ish, maybe, and like that kind of introduced him into the public eye. Like, oh, he's an everyman. Okay, he's relatable. Okay, he's just like me, and so. Yeah, maybe I would wonder. I would like to go back if I was a smarter guy, a historian type guy. Maybe I could analyze the domino effects of the roast of Donald Trump and see how that led to maybe some of the stuff that we're dealing with now, even.
You know the biggest domino effect?
What?
In 2014, he wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills, but he got beat out by somebody else. So if he
Well,
won,
they should be prosecuted. They should be held accountable for everything that Donald Trump did in office for out because he'd be like, oh, Josh Allen. I can't do a Trump impression, but I'm sure he would have a lot to say about how good Josh Allen is.
oh, he'd say a lot about his thighs and stuff. He'd say he's a
Yeah,
big, strong guy.
he's powerful. Yeah. I don't know. And then
But if we never got Trump, then we wouldn't have gotten our Lord and Savior Joe Biden, who does all the Trump stuff, but he's not him.
He's not him. He's blue, baby. Hell yeah. Geez, what a week. I saw there was like a good deleted tweet from one of those like tracking Biden, hashtag the blue wave
Biden
accounts.
wins.
And so they were like he secured a ceasefire. Like he just like all this posturing to people on the left who are rightfully obviously upset about the situation in Gaza and Palestine and everything. And this account thought that Biden had secured a ceasefire for them, and so they were tweeting all this shit out, and then that didn't happen. And so it was just like a long string of deleted tweets being like, don't you guys look stupid now, you idiots. Oh my God.
That's like a Luca Garza wins Twitter account saying we're doing it, boys. We are demolishing the defending champs.
Has Luca Garza gotten a single minute in that series? I don't know. I haven't.
Well, he's probably the Jokic in practice, and so they're guarding him.
He definitely is that. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, he's probably doing a wonderful job given how well they've guarded him in this series. So yeah, shout out to the fake Jokic, Luka Garza, maybe
Jokic. I don't know if he's Mexican.
Well, I was gonna say that.
What is Garza Mexican last name?
I thought Garza was like German or something.
Or is it
Luka Garza nationality? No, not National Player of the Year. American-born naturalized Bosnian. Okay, yeah. All right.
Interesting. Oh, so he's a Euro big too.
Yeah. Shout out to the janitor at my mom's elementary school. He was Bosnian. He was sick as hell. He was in the war.
Shout out to Yusuf Nurkic. Oh, he was in the war?
Yeah, he had serious beef with Serbia, and we hired him to like, I think remodel our kitchen. He was like a painter on the side, and he was super cool, but like. Yeah, he had serious beef with Serbia, so I didn't tell him how much I liked Jokic. I was just like, yeah, I like basketball, just everyone mostly.
I'm glad Yugoslavia broke up. were they together? I don't even know.
You guys are way better off. You guys are definitely. That was like, yeah,
I'm
definitely.
glad you don't have to spend time with those inferior guys.
Oh, what a crazy section of the world. Shout out if we have any listeners in the former Yugoslavian Republic. I love you guys. That rocks. I would love to visit the entire area. It seems super sick.
Oh, would that be your dream destination? Jokic horse farm?
That could be chill. I think I've seen a lot. I get some Belgrade like Instagram posts being like, I don't know, with like all of the clips edited super warm and yellow, being like tourism for Serbia and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it looks kind of cool over there, but I'm not sure exactly. I would love to go to Prague. That's where I really want to go. Prague seems based.
I would just assume everywhere in Europe is better than everywhere in the US except for like 8 places.
Yes, I feel very similarly. Like all the soy jack memes being like blank, but in Japan, and it's like someone looking at a gas station in Japan. It's the same shit. That's wrong. If blank
it's
in Europe,
better.
Blank in Europe is actually measurably better in pretty much every capacity. That's how it seems from my perspective right now. All right, we're talking about the Eastern Conference. We're not talking about Tom Brady anymore. Let's run through the series that have ended since we last talked. I think that's Cavs, Magic, Pacers, Bucks, and Knicks, Sixers. Are there any of these that stick out that you really want to talk about first?
Let's see. Let's fire up my notes. Let's talk Sixers first. Let's talk the demise of the Sixers, those frauds. Guess what, everybody? They'll be back next year. They'll be better than ever.
Jimmy Butler on the horizon. Have you seen these rumors?
He may be coming. You know what? I just got an alert. I think he did a GQ interview where he said he wants to finish his career in Brazil playing for Flamengo.
That's kind of sick. That seems like something he would. He's a side quest based guy, you know. This is not his whole life.
What? Yeah, he's been. Remember he called out sick to the game earlier this year, and he actually went to a tennis match with Neymar. That's probably where this idea is from. Neymar's like, come to Brazil. Have you seen Fast Five? And he's like, yeah, I have. But I see through you, Jimmy Butler. I see through you. I know what this is. He's going to try and become a sports icon in Brazil, and then he's going to try and sell coffee in Brazil. I see them.
Oh, okay. Yep. Isn't Brazil a coffee exporter?
I think so, but when he's there, he's just going to take it and put it in the store.
They'll be an importer when he shows up. They'll be like, fuck, we need to consume more coffee than we ever have. Yeah, I saw a report that classic Miami move here, if this is true, they would not trade Jimmy Butler for 3 first-round picks and 3 pick swaps from the 76ers. And I was like, dude, if that's me, like, imagine like a 2029 Sixers first-round pick. I feel like that could be one of the most valuable things in basketball. I do not like the Sixers are good, and I do think they'll be back next year. I don't know about the longevity of this basketball team, and I am a little nervous for like how long Embiid lasts, I suppose, and like how sharp the drop off is when like his body really goes, because he had the surgery this year and he came back pretty good. Like, this is the best I feel he's ever looked in the postseason. It's this series from a level of play standpoint, but it is the surgery that like pretty drastically increases your percentage chance for like arthritis in your knees. Like, it makes it a lot harder to be a high-level athlete more rapidly. And so I'm worried about all that shit for Philadelphia moving forward.
Yeah, he was fantastic in this series, even though he was very clearly not 100%. He was a plus in every single game except the last one. He was only -2.
And the Sixers were -50 without him on the floor in this series.
Yeah, so they'll be in good shape next year because they'll have him, they'll have Maxey, and then I think, is it true that they'll have nobody else? Like, nobody else is under contract or something? There's some crazy number, but Tobias Harris is expiring for sure.
Yeah, he's done, and I don't think they should pay him very much money at all. Like
I don't think they'll pay him any. I think he's just changing scenery.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, you want to talk about somebody like let down this postseason? You're expecting the bare minimum from Tobias Harris. You're like, can you be 14 points per game on like middling efficiency? Absolutely not. I think he was. I'm gonna guess 9 points per game in this series. I'll pull it up real quick. But yeah, Harris is definitely done. I remember seeing a tweet that was like, "Here's a list of players the Sixers are reportedly ready to bring back next season," and it was like Embiid, Maxey, Lowry, Batum, Ricky Council, and Kelly Oubre. Maybe like it was not a long list. It was most of the guys that they got contributions out of in this first round series, but. Yeah, I think they'll retool, and I love what Maxey showed us playing off of Embiid in this series as well. So I think they're pretty well set up for the next couple of years. But I think after that, it could fall off pretty rapidly. Yeah, 9 points per game on 51% true shooting for Tobias Harris against the New York Knicks, and the defense was completely ignoring him most of the time.
Yeah, they'll have $65 million in cap space, and they'll have a first-round pick to trade. So I wonder what they'll do with it, because they could go all in on one guy with that. Like, how much is Paul George going to make? I don't think he's eligible to make 60, but maybe something close. I don't know what his max is.
I know he was expecting the max. I don't know what the max is either, but like LA reportedly came to him several times over the course of the season and was like, we'll give you this. It's less than the max, but you're averaging like 14 points per game over the last 2 months and whatever. And so, yeah, I wouldn't want him to get Paul George. How do you feel about that move?
I'm still Paul George pilled. I think he's really, really good. But if it comes down to we are just Embiid, Maxey, Paul George, and then similar to this year, like just guys who are trying to not get killed in the minutes they're on the floor, then I don't know if I feel like that's a contender. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm interested to see though what they'll do with this offseason, because that's a lot of space to build around a team where you already have a guy who you're confident can be the best player on a championship team when he is playing. And then you already have Maxey, who's a fantastic compliment to him. They have a Maxey extension coming up, but I think they're going to wait until they sign someone in the offseason and then go over the cap with that. And so there's a lot of ways they could build out this roster. I think I'm optimistic about it. I'll trust Daryl Morey with this.
Yeah, I trust him too. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. You kind of have to trust him at this point. But yeah, I don't know. Paul George, to me, I feel like he's so sick. He's one of the best like off-ball shooters in the league, and when the jump shot's falling, it's super cool. I feel like he really struggled to get past people in the Dallas series, and when he couldn't, when the jump shot wasn't falling, it got ugly pretty quick. And so I don't know. I just feel like you're better off if you're already relying on, you like need Embiid to be healthy for this to work anyways. You might as well just like flesh out the role players and have the team be like good to go from a very reliable production standpoint, instead of hinging it not only on Embiid's health but also on this historically pretty volatile player in Paul George on top of that. So like to get a healthy run out of Joel Embiid and then have Paul George just like 3 straight stinkers to end your season or something, I feel like that would be super disappointing from Philadelphia's standpoint. But yeah,
it'd be like the Harden days.
Yeah, at least Harden, dude.
Did he finish out that last series well?
No, he played poorly in that series. But part of me has always been like, he did kind of force feed you 2 wins. He averaged like 20 points per game in the series, despite scoring over 40 points twice. And so the other 4 or 5 games, really bad production, like probably close to 15 points per game in those. But yeah, game 1 he stole from Boston on their home floor, and then game 4 or whatever he hit the game winner and like really had them in position to win the game all the way down the fourth quarter. And Embiid played well in those, but yeah, I don't know.
Would you rather have Jimmy than Paul George? I think I might, but
I
he's also
absolutely
got he also has availability concerns at this point.
yeah. I mean, I would rather have Jimmy than Paul George because like I have no problem with Embiid and Maxey and Jimmy Butler just like riding out in the regular season and like being a 6 seed. That I'm comfortable with. Doing that with Paul George, I would feel less comfortable with. And that's just like based on how well Jimmy Butler's done in those situations in Miami over the past several seasons and how you would hope he could transplant some of that energy onto the 76ers. But I don't know. I would rather have Jimmy Butler. I feel like he's been better in a bigger stage lately. Not
What
this
about
year,
what about
obviously.
LeBron?
Oh, fuck. Is this like I feel like LeBron's going to want a pretty long contract. Or do you think he'll just take like 2 years and just play it by ear pretty much every single season until he retires?
I don't know, because it feels like whenever the end is in sight, then he'll be like, all right, yeah, max me out. Like, yeah, give me a lot. But yeah, I don't know what he thinks about his future. So, but yeah, it'd be weird because he's still better than those two, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah, I'd rather do LeBron just because of how good he looked shooting the 3 and everything this season, and you could just figure it out later. Because I do feel like him and Maxey both like to get downhill in a similar way. Like they don't occupy the same role by any means, but there are spots on the floor where they play a pretty similar style, and so I think compared to like Jimmy Butler, who has really thrived in the mid-range setting over the last couple playoff runs, deep playoff runs. LeBron is more of like either pulling it from 3 or getting to the rim at this point in his career. But yeah, I'd rather do LeBron. I think LeBron is a better player, and especially if you're maxing both of them, I'd rather just go for LeBron.
And then if they were able to get KD in a trade.
Ooh, that would be sick. I think
actually
KD.
there probably is no possibility for that, right? What would Phoenix take?
They would take Embiid, and that's probably it. Like I don't think Philly.
I mean, they would take Maxey, but Philly would not give up Maxey, I think.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't think there's a way to keep this core together and add Durant. I don't think the picks really get the job done if you're Phoenix. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe some serious shit happens this offseason. Maybe Kevin Durant says, get me out of here, and they have to make a decision. And if that's the case, then maybe Phoenix would have a shot. But I still think teams like Oklahoma City probably have a little bit more to offer. That
The Bulls, he
yeah.
likes Vucevic and Zach LaVine.
Yeah, 1-1 LaVine for KD. We find out who the real 27-point per game scorer is. 27 point per.
At this point, I think all these guys, they have to go back to the East. They have to realize it's way easier over there. Like, I've been fighting these wars. It didn't have to be this way. I'm going back.
Fighting these wars. Pascal Siakam averaged 16 points per game over the last 4 games of the first round and 1 in 6. Because that's just the way the East is right now. And I mean, that specific series is a health issue. But yeah, I mean, dude, I said to a Celtics fan online yesterday, I was like, you have no idea what I would give to be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round without Jared Allen. You have no idea. So yeah, I think most people should want to go to the East if they're reasonable. All right, that's it for Sixers, and they played the Knicks. Do you want to do Knicks Pacers game 1, or do you want to go to like Orlando or Indiana's series wins?
I say, well, first off, I say we timestamp it, and then we get it out of our face.
We could do that. But give me a second. My notes app it's kind of slow.
Well, let's do some ball talk. Let's do Pacers Knicks game 1.
All right, let's get it. What is that? 24. Pacers, Knicks. All right, so the Knicks obviously win game 1. I thought it was a good sign for them that this. I like if at the beginning of the game, I was like, if this score ends 120 to 115, it feels like Indiana is going to win. That's how the first half of this game felt. But then New York really came out in the second half. All the Villanova boys locked the fuck in, and they pulled it out. I think the final score was literally 121 to 117 or something along those lines. How did you feel about this game?
It was interesting. It was pretty close. So Brunson is on a crazy run. Brunson is on a modern day Allen Iverson run.
Yes.
He's just scoring 1 million points, sometimes on 1 million shots. But this past game, it was 26 shots, but he got to the line 14 times. And the Pacers seem like they're going to let him do it. They are keeping their defense at home on the shooters. They are letting Nembhard go 1v1 against Brunson.
Nembhard.
Not Nembhard. Yes, Nembhard. I always get Nembhard and Neesmith mixed up with each other. Yes, Nembhard.
It is Nembhard that was at Brunson, yeah.
Yeah, he is in hell, and he's a really good defender for a guard. And there was like a moment at the end of the game when he's full court pressing Jalen Brunson, Brunson was just trying to get the ball up half court. He was doing it, but I was just thinking, if Andrew Nembhard full court pressed me in front of 50,000 people at Madison Square Garden, I would kill myself. I would. That would be the worst thing that ever happened to me. But
imagine how Jamal Murray feels. Oh my god.
Oh man. But yeah, so Brunson is just it's like the gladiator arena. It's just him versus Nembhard 1v1 down in the post, guard versus guard, which I used to do in 2K, so I kind of came up with this before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but, Tibbs was looking to you for inspiration.
Yeah. So that it'll be interesting. And then so DiVincenzo got a lot of easy baskets. I feel like from they were helping like one pass away sometimes, and he's been pretty consistent with his production. Josh Hart, what did I write down? He had 24 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, which is pretty insane. He was getting all the way downhill to the rim.
I wonder what he's averaging in this postseason exactly. Keep talking, but like I mean, he tore the Sixers up, and so like I wonder what his official line is. You figure it's close to like at least 25-5. Let me see. Hart. Okay, yeah. Shit, dude. 18 points, 12.4 rebounds, 5 assists on 45% from the field, 45% from 3, and 68% from the line. No free lunches, baby.
Pack a heart.
Yeah, send him there. But yeah, I mean he's been unbelievable in a lot of these games. Like he has been what feels like the pivotal player in a lot of New York's playoff wins this season, just because Brunson has been so consistently productive. Like the floor of a Brunson game outside of a couple Sixers games has been like 30 points and 6 assists, and a lot of them he's going for like 40 plus with nearly 10 assists on really solid efficiency. And so yeah, Hart has just stepped up, hit a lot of really timely shots along with DiVincenzo. But yeah, Hart fucking rocks. I love him. I wrote down all their second half stats. He had 13, 6, and 6 in the second half. DiVincenzo had 21 points on 8 of 10 shooting in the second half, and then Brunson had 25, 4, and 4 in the second half. So yeah, it was just, I mean, Brunson was fine in the first half, but Hart and DiVincenzo really stepped up in that second.
He only made 1 3 in this game, but it was like a sidestep 3. I was like, what is going on, man? Yeah, he's been crazy. For Indiana, obviously. Oh wait, Mitchell Robinson is out.
Yeah, that was my next point as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so that they'll probably still. Well, no, I shouldn't say they'll probably still win the series because this is a very competitive game. So I don't know
Yeah.
who's going to win. But how much does this change this series to you?
He didn't play in this game, did he?
I think he did.
Let me see. Am I tweaking? I don't remember seeing him in this game, and he's huge. I
He's
mean,
huge.
yeah.
I think he did, unless I'm getting it mixed up with someone else.
Hartenstein. Robinson. No, he did. He did. He played 12 minutes in this game. Okay. I mean, I think it affects it, but it affects it a lot less than like the Philadelphia series where you're like, we need bodies for Embiid all the time. Like someone's going to have 4 fouls every game, so we just need to have that depth. With this, it'd be sick to have him. Like he's really, really good, but I think since you have Hartenstein and the whole team is good at rebounding, but Hart has stepped up as a rebounder in such a big way. I think you can survive it, but it sucks obviously because he rocks. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think they'll be able to survive. I wonder if he would be a bigger deal against the Celtics, but I think either way they're probably going to lose that series. So I don't know how much it's a bummer, but I don't know how much it changes their fortunes. I think they could still it hasn't changed my feeling for their chance in this series. I think they'll be fine. But yeah, let's see. So if you're the Pacers, do you stick to guarding Brunson that way? Do you concede? We'll just match up with him 1v1 this whole game. We'll let him drop 46, and 6 assists, and we'll try and limit the 3-point shooting. Or do you decide no? Let's go the other way. Let's blitz this guy. Let's get the ball out of his hands. Let's make everyone else beat us.
I mean, I think if you do that this game, forcing like everyone else to beat you, they shot 48% from 3 in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so like just forcing those looks out. New York feels like a super hot hand team to me, where like if you let DiVincenzo get super comfortable, or McBride, who was a non-factor in this game, get comfortable, or OG get a lot of shots up, like I feel like that will really punish you. Whereas with Brunson, just like it's a very slow, methodical method of scoring where like if you let that work and you actually do limit their 3-point shots and efficiency, like you don't just say you're going to and then again they shoot 50% from 3 on like 25 takes, then I feel like they could win that game. This game where you try it and they still light you up from 3 and they run with just as much pace as you do, they do it almost better than you do in a lot of possessions, then you're probably going to lose. And so I think I would probably still guard Brunson the same way and just hope. I think you have to hope that Siakam and Halliburton just straight up played better. Like this was not a good game for either of them. Miles Turner and McConnell really kept you in it. It felt like McConnell at a lot of like pivotal moments was hitting some stupid like Nash dribble mid-range pull-up type thing the way he does. But yeah, Halliburton 6 points on 6 shots feels like that's one of the bigger stories of the game, more than like how you were able to guard New York. You can't give up 120 points to this team and be like, yeah, that's like a great game plan.
He was on the court at the end of that game, like down the stretch, and he was just doing nothing. Like he wasn't involved. He was just sitting off the ball. He wasn't even really moving that much. They were just running the offense through like Nembhard and through other guys, and so
Neesmith was great in the fourth quarter. I felt like it felt like they were calling his name all the fucking time.
He had a sick dunk.
He did have a sick dunk. Hell yeah.
But if he's not, he had 8 assists this game, and some of them were really nice. But if he is not giving you what he gives you, what he's supposed to give you on the offensive end, if he's just standing there and then he's on the defensive end, he's a huge weakness. Like they pick on him every
straight up terrible. It's awful.
He is like Trae Young. He might be on that level of being like not this past year Trae Young, of course, defensive player of the year Trae Young.
DPOY.
but the previous Trae Youngs, he's really rough. So it was funny. They left him completely wide open for his first three of the game. Like they literally, like he was getting Ben Simmons treatment, and then he made it. But yeah, it's crazy that the game was this close with him playing this way.
Yeah.
And then Siakam didn't put up, didn't do that, didn't do that good. But I felt okay with him. Like down the stretch, he was attacking OG, and it seemed like they said this on the Zach Lowe podcast, and I agree. It seems like it's a matchup he's comfortable with. Like they've gone against each other like in practice for years or whatever, and it seems like he had some wins down the stretch.
Yeah. I mean, OG is going to be hard to score on. It seems like he's comfortable trying all the time. And it never, like, it doesn't often feel, at least in this game, it never felt like, what are you doing trying to go at him? Like, he has a tool bag that's really good at negating guys that are the same size as he is a lot of time. And so, yeah, I was comfortable with all his possessions. It feels like Siakam this game, what was it? 19, 6, and 5 on 53% true shooting. It like he had some shots where if this had been a game that ended 97-90 or something, then his style of basketball where he walks you down, post up, spin fade to the middle, little mid-range jumper or something, that could work fine for that kind of game. The fact that this ballooned into a shootout and you're still like that's the kind of offense you're generating, it's a little less comfortable because it's the ceiling isn't there. Even if you're like really efficient on those looks, if you're not I don't know, if your three isn't falling as much, it's just it's very difficult to keep pace with the kind of second half that New York had.
Yeah, Siakam 1v1 versus OG is probably not going to match Brunson 1v1 versus Nemhard. He was doing a good job, like getting downhill and then kicking out and then getting the offense jump started that way. But yeah,
the free throw thing is a big part of it. That's what I meant to mention as well. It's like Siakam hardly gets to the line. So when Brunson gets those post up looks, every other possession, every 3 possessions, he's getting fouled. He's going to the line. Siakam shot 4 free throws in this game, and he only hit 2 of them. So that's like a very stark difference in their style of play.
Obi Toppin had 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting. He did it through the legs dunk.
He's sick.
Revenge game. They didn't believe in him in New York, and now he's here. Now he's playing.
And he's good. He's pretty damn good. Yeah. I mean, that's just a classic Tibbs move where it's just like I'm not playing this fucking 21-year-old. Get him out of my face.
He came into the league. He's super old. I think he might have been 22 or 23 as a rookie.
Shit. Okay. Well, I mean, he's behind the curve then. He should be dropping 12 on 5 of 7 shooting off the bench. Damn it. Yeah, he rocked. He was super good. One of them, like, I never believed the 3. I know he's like a 40% shooter off the bench nearly. Every time I shoot
this year? Is he shooting 40%?
Dude, I swear to God, off the bench, he's really good. Let me see.
He is honestly a guy I thought would never be able to exist on a playoff court because of defense.
No, dude, he's 10, 4, and 2 off the bench on 57, 40, 77 shooting splits. Only 3.1 attempts. But, I mean, 40% is 40% for a guy like that who's already so athletic and stuff. Yeah, he rocked in this game. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think New York is killing themselves that they lost him. He's just a solid role player. But
we talked about it during the regular season. This is like the best situation for him because he's at his best when it's transition, when he's running up and down the court and he's able to get easy baskets that way. When it comes to the Knicks, they're kind of like a grinded out half court team more so. Yeah. And so like playing off of Jalen Brunson, he wouldn't be the same guy.
Yeah, no. Halliburton's game fits him almost infinitely better. Like he fucking rocks. Yeah. So my big things I wrote down for the Pacers, you can run with the Knicks. Like this game, they didn't have a ton of success slowing down Indiana's transition game. Indiana was just less efficient at it than New York was by the end of it. And so I think Indiana only shot like 38% from three, which is good, but you would hope that you can get it a little bit higher if you're giving up 47, 48% to the other team. And then that 48% number, that feels unsustainable if you're Indiana and you're looking at something that's going to change for game two. It feels like, and some of that is related to Indiana's defense, that they're not the best 3-point defense in the league, but it feels like even wide open, expecting guys to shoot 48% for an entire series. That's not going to sustain. So hopefully they get some improvement on that front. And Halliburton, I mean, yeah, that's crazy that Halliburton was just that non-existent on the floor in the fourth quarter. That blew me away. I really don't know what to expect from him in game two.
And it's yeah, they're like throwing Hartenstein out on him to switch on the perimeter. They're not worried at all, and he's not punishing it. So it's rough because it's injury concern, but also I had natural concerns about his play style translating in the playoffs just in general. So it's not a good situation, but hopefully he'll figure something out. He's got to start letting it fly more.
I mean, yeah, that's like I don't have any data on this, but every like dribble handoff or swing pass to him, it feels like he's just pump faking on it. And like nobody is biting on the pump fakes anymore. And so it just completely it allowed Milwaukee to resettle into their defense a lot, and it allowed New York to do the same thing in game one. You gotta shoot it, Halliburton. I need 12 3-point attempts. I need to see what it looks like next game, man.
And he's got some room to pull up off the dribble too. They give him some space, so he's got to let it fly there too.
Yeah.
Shout out Isaiah Jackson. Indiana got some good Isaiah Jackson minutes. I was a huge Isaiah Jackson guy in the draft. He's like a pogo stick shot blocker, and I thought he'd be able to switch too. But they never give him much run. But it seems this could be a series for him. Shout out Isaiah Jackson.
Shout out to Isaiah Jackson, man. Yeah, we have a couple lobbyist requests for this one, I believe. One, Augusto. Oh, shit, we had a Sixers one I forgot to read. We could start with that. Matt Bowers said, should the Sixers trade Embiid this offseason while value will still be crazy and try to retool with Maxey and future assets? What spots would Embiid fit into best given his usage, personality, and injury history? I don't think Philly – I think they're riding Embiid into the sunset, into oblivion. That's the process. Like, it's the man who has defined your franchise for a long time. I think they will probably go with him until he doesn't look good anymore. Like, it's one thing for him to have like a down playoff run or down season or whatever. He looked like top 3 player on the planet pretty much every time he was on the basketball court this season. So I think it would be a little bit wild to move off of him right now.
Yeah, I think no chance they move him, especially because they're having all the cap space and everything in the summer. So the chances of Embiid being healthy for an entire playoff run are not great.
They're terrible.
But the chances for them building a contending roster without him are worse than that. Like, how would you build a roster that could beat the Celtics by trading Embiid? Who has first of all, who has the assets to trade for Embiid? OKC, they give every single pick that they've gotten, and then I guess you just rebuild that way. But even then, you're spending your entire life just hoping for the next Embiid, and I don't know when the next one's gonna come. Like he was the MVP of this year. He won MVP last year, so.
I mean, if you look, like, you don't even have to look to the regular season. Just look at how the Sixers looked when it was like just Maxey on the floor, no Embiid against the Knicks. It was a fucking nightmare. Not to even dip into how they fell off in the standings when Embiid got hurt. Maxey rocks. I think he's a great piece to raise the team into like title contender area because when Embiid is on the floor, which again you are already relying on if you're looking to go for a title, when Embiid's on the floor, Maxey is killer. He's so insanely good at maximizing all of the little cracks that a defense leaves open when they're paying attention to Embiid. He's like one of the best in the league at that, and his fit next to Embiid. I'm not sure how many guys would be better next to him. But like him as the solo star of the show, like I don't
He's
think
not a floor raiser.
yeah, you're not retooling the roster to be like, we can win a playoff series with just Maxey next year. Like, it would be a long, slow rebuild where, yeah, like you said, you're just waiting. You're like, every draft pick you make, you'd be like, huh, maybe this guy will be Embiid. Maybe.
Like, I guess best case scenario be Chet and all those picks from OKC? Would they be to get anyone else?
I mean, Chet, because like the only other landing spot to me, I think Miami would really want him.
They don't. Oh man, they would. Would they give up Jovic and
I
Hyman?
mean, Jovic for Embiid, 1-for-1, and that's the best you're getting if you're Philadelphia. Yeah, I think.
And
Chet,
I don't think Pat Riley would want him because in that press conference, Pat Riley was so pissed about them missing games. He was so pissed about
he
Butler
was
missing
salty as shit.
games. He kept bringing it up over and over. He's like, just give me 72 games. So I don't know if he'd be into Embiid.
Yeah, probably not. So yeah, I just don't think they're moving him. All right, so Knicks Pacers request Augusto Dabos says, I really hope the finals ends up being Knicks Wolves. Brunson versus Edwards would go crazy. I don't think it's that unrealistic either. Boston has a better roster than New York, but they lack mental toughness and have historically folded under pressure, and the Knicks have toughness to spare. I don't know how to break this to you, man. The Knicks don't got the offense for that. They don't have it. They do, like, speaking as someone who is watching a generationally talented offensive player be ripped to shreds by this Minnesota defense, they do not have it. Jalen Brunson in the paint against a fucking Jaden McDaniels. Like, Nick, it's so insane to me with the Wolves defense, and I'll go off on this tomorrow, that like the good defensive switch you want, the switch where you can breathe a little bit, is like Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Anthony Edwards. That's the big testament to how talented Minnesota is defensively, is that like you run a screen and you're dribbling through your legs and you're like, all right, who am I going at? Oh shit. This is still one of like the 15 best perimeter defenders in the league. I just got Jaden McDaniels off of me instead. And so, yeah, Jalen Brunson, yeah, they don't got it like that. Even like a generational shooting performance from DiVincenzo, I would hold my breath on that series, even going like 6 games. It's just hard to imagine. Do you think they could beat Boston, though?
I guess it's possible, maybe, but I really would not bet on it at all. Like, the Boston is firing on all cylinders. Even Jason Tatum is, who's like not putting up these big scoring nights. Let me see what I wrote down.
Fraud watch. Every night's an off night. It's terrible.
So, tweet from Nekias Duncan, 32 assists to 10 turnovers for Tatum in the postseason so far. They have a 126 offensive rating with him on the court, 101 with him off the court. He's living in the flow state right now. Shots haven't fallen for him yet, but it still looks like this. So even with him not making shots, he's leading them to being a regular season like one. What did the Pacers finish? 128 per
offensive rating.
Yeah, I think they were 128, and so Tatum is 126, and this is with playoff offenses. So the Celtics, I would not bet on. I would not bet on the Knicks beating them. As good as Nembhard is, Derrick White and Drew Holiday are better, so I don't know if you could run the gladiator offense and be quite as successful. And then the guys on the Knicks are shooting their brains out, but so is Derrick White, and the Celtics are And Porzingis revenge series. So I really would not bet on it. But we'll see.
Yeah,
I also said the Suns will beat the Timberwolves. So
I know you did. That was crazy. Which I mean, I said the Nuggets would beat them, so fuck it. Who cares? Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know. It's just like, especially watching that Cavs series or Cavs game one, which we can go into in just a sec. You're looking at it and you're like, okay, even if Donovan Mitchell like matches the offensive production of the two best players on the Celtics, that really just gets us into like close game territory. And
and he
so if
had a
you're
big game in game one.
yeah, and it was a 10-point game the entire time. So like it was just yeah, I think if you're the Knicks and Brunson has 45 or 50, then maybe you get into a close game. And I do think the Knicks could win a close game with Boston. I just think keeping it close is going to be difficult for 4 wins.
And if they meet the Timberwolves in the finals, that will mean the Timberwolves continue to do what they did in their latest game. And then they did it also either to Shea or to Luca. And so I think that means that they will do worse to Brunson. So if they got there, I don't think it would be fun for Knicks fans.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think losing to Boston agenda wise, probably the best you could hope for if you're the Knicks. Because I think the Boston loss, there will be a lot of heart in there. There will be a lot of honor in there. You'll be able to take the momentum. You'll be like, we held our heads high. Boston's this fucking juggernaut. We gave them their best shot, and it wasn't enough. We can retool and come back next year. You would leave that Minnesota Finals series being like, there is no hope left in the universe. Like there's like this is terrifying. I don't want to root for a basketball team anymore. It's very scary stuff that's happening in Minnesota. But maybe it'll change.
They'd be in the church like Spider-Man 3. They'd be like, God, kill Anthony Edwards, please.
Kill Anthony. Dude, God took Rudy Gobert out of the game. He said, Rudy, you're having a son. And Rudy Gobert, soft, baby soft. He didn't want to play in a playoff game. Oh, my son's being born. And it didn't matter, man. Naz Reid, I shouldn't have doubted him. Henry Cates wants to know. The Knicks have the worst injury luck in the league.
Whoa, buddy.
Losing Randall, Bogdanovich, and now Robinson has destroyed their front court. Bogdanovich. Oh, buddy, come on. If you had not said that name, I wouldn't have laughed because the other 2 points are true. But damn, dude.
What, he averaged 20 points per game on the year.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, dude. Elite shooter, elite offensive guy, Bogdanovich. Yeah, it's destroyed their front court depth, and they stand no chance against Boston. If they stay healthy next season, though, ... eyes emoji. I think next season's a good goal to have for New York. I just don't know. Like, does Randall win them the Celtics series?
Straight up, I think they're worse with Randall. Straight up, I think they are.
All right.
I don't think he benefits you in any of these series.
Who are they starting right now, and who does Brunson replace? Who does Randall replace?
Hartenstein, OG, DiVincenzo, Hart, and Brunson.
So he probably starts over Josh Hart, you figure.
Probably.
That is a worse playoff player. Josh Hart's like a better playoff. I mean, especially this version of Josh Hart. Holy shit. If Josh Hart was like 15 points and 8 rebounds, I would still be like, huh? He might be better than Randall. I mean, what Josh Hart has done he's insane. And so, yeah, I just think Randall...
He does not fit with their defense, I think.
I'm willing to give him through the trade deadline next season to like do a Karl Anthony Towns this year and like lock in, start trying defensively. Because I mean, he has the size and he's a great athlete and stuff. Like it's a lot of buying in on that end that just hasn't really seemed to happen. But yeah, I just don't. I don't think Randall is the solution to taking this team over the edge.
Yeah, his motor doesn't run as hot. I don't think unless the ball is in his hands. He'd be cool as the sixth man, but obviously he's not going to accept that. So I don't think. And then obviously Bogdanovich hasn't done anything for them since they traded for him. And then, like we said, Robinson injury hurts, but it's not a fatal. It's not the arrow to Achilles' heel. So
Yeah.
I would. Who is? Are they even top 10 in injury luck and bad injury luck?
I mean, that's a fun.
So the Clippers are worse, obviously.
Clippers are worse. Pelicans are worse.
Pelicans are worse.
Sixers are worse.
Sixers are worse.
The Heat. I mean, Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Yeah. Halliburton injury.
I mean, fuck me, dude. I almost don't believe it was a hamstring in January, dude. Come on.
But then he played on it, and he's a tiny guy.
He's like 6'4". I mean, whatever. Yeah, let's give
Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is more important.
The Zach LaVine loss got an MIP finalist out of Kobe White. I feel like that's a successful season.
Yeah, man, Zach LaVine is our Randall, I guess.
They're pretty similar, just contributions on the floor. They're not similar players, but like if you ask me, does Zach LaVine move the needle for a playoff team? I'd be like, no. He makes it worse.
I think LaVine is less of a terrorist with the ball. Like I swear, Randall plays like it's his last possession ever, and he has to score, or the earth is going to explode. But I understand if Knicks fans would be like, "Well, he's second team All NBA. LaVine is doing shit." So I'd be like, "Okay, back off. Leave me alone. I'm just at the bodega now. It's a role play."
Okay. I'm just trying to get a bacon, egg, and cheese, my guy.
Yeah,
leave me alone.
Yeah, the Aki way.
Let me get a Zach LaVine, the Aki way.
The entire Grizzlies roster died this year, so they're worse. Yeah, I don't know how unlucky the Knicks are. Brunson's been pretty healthy. He missed a little bit during.
Yeah. Well, I mean the way
I guess OG missed big stretches too, but he's fine now. Yeah.
The way Brunson plays, I consider his health like 100% glowing success this year. Like, not even from like a.
He
Derrick
should be dead right now. His heart should have given out already.
Like just full sprinting every single possession. I'm a foot and a half shorter than everybody in the paint. I am going to go in there, and there's a good chance somebody like is going to land on me. And like he's just like 40 points every night.
I am initiating contact. I'm bashing my little chest into you.
Yeah. So yeah, Knicks not great health by any stretch of the imagination. I won't call them like a particularly good health team, but it could get worse. It's not
a what if season for me. It's not. Yeah. Man, if Derrick Rose didn't tear his ACL, how far do we go? It's just like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's so funny that we are seeing that. You said for like weeks after Julius Randle and OG went down, I was always like, what if this team gets healthy? And you were like, what if OG gets healthy? And yeah, that's what we're seeing. It's a pretty good team. They're good. I mean, yeah, you won a playoff series. You probably, maybe we'll win 2. I'm going to hold my breath on how game 2 goes tonight. But you're in a good position. All right. So that's Knicks Pacers. Do you have any final thoughts on them?
No. The timestamp them, get them out of our face.
Timestamp, get out of my face. 58 minutes. Let's talk Pacers Bucks. Let's get this out of the way. So essentially, Milwaukee's season is over. I would consider it a disappointment. How do you feel?
Yes. But I'll inject some optimism for the Bucks here. Literally a fake year. Literally Damian Lillard divorce. Literally Damian Lillard new team. Literally Giannis injury, literally new coach.
Literally Doc Rivers came and tried to coach us in a playoff game, and it's like, what are you doing right now, dude? You're fucking weird. Oh my god. Yeah.
Literally, it's not canon. This is a filler series. This is not canon. And so
Holy shit.
they are the rare, and Chris Middleton missed a bunch of time too. And so they are the rare team where they can go into the offseason and be like, if we are fully healthy and if we are just a more cohesive team next year, the pieces on the roster are there. And things could be way different. Now I'm still a Doc Rivers doubter, of course, but
I would love to meet a Doc Rivers truther. I have never encountered one.
Bill Simmons. he used to publicly trash Doc Rivers when he was the Celtics coach, like to the point where they were like feuding and beefing.
I've seen a YouTube video about that. It was cool.
Yeah, and then he got him to come on his podcast, and then now he's like, yeah, I don't know if it's his fault in Milwaukee. I'm like, you definitely would be saying something different. But yeah, they with a full off season. With Damian Lillard spending the summer in what's a city in Wisconsin? What? Oshkosh. No, I don't think he'd go there. Oshkosh. Oh, maybe he would go there. That's what they call it. Big time drinking college town. I mean,
the entire state of Wisconsin. If you look up an alcoholics map, it's going to be dark red. The state of Wisconsin. You guys need help.
Does he know about cheese curds yet? That could change things. Maybe a Lillard, maybe Glorilla moves to Kenosha. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe Glorilla moves in, gets some continuity, FaceTimes the kids. Things will be okay. So
he hits a Ted Lasso. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh, there's a scene. You find out he's like going through a divorce towards the end of season 1, and he like FaceTimes his kid, and he's like, "Hey, kiddo," and maybe that could be Damian Lillard right now. They like played Legos together on the phone or some shit.
So yeah, they if they come back healthy next year and playing up to their full capacity, they can be contenders.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, Giannis. I'm 110% still on one of the best basketball players on the planet.
Not a fraud?
Huh?
Not a fraud?
No, he's real.
What about his calf?
His calf is real too. His calf was just really hurt.
It's a fraud calf.
No, well, I mean, I'm sold on him, and I also think historically it's fair to expect him to be 100% next year. Like, it's fine to look at how his health has bore out year to year and be like, okay, that's a guy that we can rely on for a bunch of games where he will have us competitive in every single game. He will be the driving force behind us being a high seed. Damian Lillard, health, pretty hit or miss year to year.
Tiny guy, getting older.
Yes, and like he historically has struggled. I don't know. Like, if his ability to split double teams a la Donovan Mitchell completely dissipates, if his ability to blow by guys completely goes, or just like seriously takes a hit, that alters the way he plays basketball at a high level. Let me look up how many games he's played year to year. This year, got 73 out of him. Last year, 58. Year before that, 29. So you can expect 65, 60 games out of him around there. Chris Middleton, wildly inconsistent health-wise. Don't know. You want a better season?
Middleton now.
How old is he?
Yeah, he's 2012 draft, I think, and he was like a little older. So
I would wait
34.
Yeah, he's 34-ish, and I think if you get 50 games out of him, that's probably a successful season. What did he play this year? Yeah, he played 55 this year, so around that.
Like more than I thought.
Oh, he's only 32 though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's only 30. That's crazy. He's only a year older than Pat Connaughton. They feel like worlds apart to me in my brain.
Oh man, he must have come out early then.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. Do you think are they bringing Doc Rivers back?
I think you have to, just money wise. I think and they were plotting this. They did the great betrayal, the great backstabbing. So I don't and who do they go out and get? They can't get Bud again. I
Frank
mean,
Vogel,
he
baby.
still owns the house. Oh man, Frank Vogel could be sick. No.
Frank Vogel, if Phoenix is dumb enough to fire Frank Vogel, absolutely scoop him up if you're Milwaukee. But yeah, I don't know, man. Healthy, does this team, are they good enough to beat Boston? Like, do they put it together defensively next season, do you think? I think if you get Middleton pretty healthy and you can like run him and Giannis 2-man game and then Dame and Brook Lopez's 2-man game is still effective. I think the offense will be in a good spot. I'm hesitant. Do you think the Dame Giannis 2-man game is going to develop into what we expected it to be next season?
Well, I have no clue because I thought it would be automatic. I thought it
Me
would
too.
be intuitive for them, but it wasn't. But now they have a whole off season to work on it. So hopefully they do that.
Yeah. That is so baffling to me that they played 70 games together and we're still like maybe they'll put it together, man. I don't know. Yeah. I think they'll be one of the best teams in the East. I just don't know where that puts them among like the best teams in the league, if that makes sense.
And they have no assets, right? I don't know what
they have like pretty much no picks, very little cap space. They sunk it all into the Dame trade mostly. Like they've just kind of been making small, expensive trades year to year since like the Eric Bledsoe era. Since they moved for Eric Bledsoe, to be honest. So yeah, I just think they don't have that much maneuverability this offseason. They're kind of working with what they got. Any final thoughts on Milwaukee? Yeah, there we go. All right. Fuck off. Bucks 106.
Timestamp that. Yeah.
Timestamp. You're in my face. Get out. You want to go Cavs Magic or Cavs Celtics?
Let's do Magic. Let's do a Magic retrospective.
All right. Now, 2 Pablo haters? Wrong. 1 Pablo hater. I've been reformed. He cooked this series.
You've been baptized.
I've been baptized in the waters of Mr. Banchero. He fucking
in the
rocks.
olive oil.
There you go. I'm greasy right now. What do you think about the Magic? How do you feel about where they're at?
I feel better about Pablo. I'll tell you specifically why. One of my big concerns was, so I don't think he's like a big time jump shooting talent, but he plays like he is. He takes a lot of jump shots.
Hold the jump shot. And we're back. Paolo's he plays like he's a great jump shooter. Do you want to continue that thought?
So Pablo, inefficient dude, hasn't been efficient in the NBA, wasn't efficient at Duke. And it's because he likes to shoot a lot of jump shots. And his talent as a jump shooter does not reflect the diet of shots that he takes. And so I was concerned, how is he going to survive in the playoffs by playing like he does? And I was concerned that he wouldn't be able to get to the free throw. One of his saving graces in the regular season has been his free throw numbers. Like he got there, I think, like 7 times a game as a rookie, which was insane. Him and Mathurin both had crazy foul drawing seasons. And so I was concerned that wouldn't be there in the playoffs, because the playoffs, you're allowed more physicality. And because he's not the most bursty guy in the half court, he's not super, super duper fast. I was worried that he would be just straight up, he would be contained easier in the playoffs by strong defenders. And then he wouldn't have the free throws and he would fall back on these mid-range shots that he doesn't make that much. Well, the man got, what was he? 14, not even, I think it was more than 14. Yeah, he shot 18 free throws in game 7. So
yeah, him and Mitchell, I mean, it was just a whistle contest for a lot. No, they both played really well. But yeah, I wonder, what did he average? I wrote down.
So for the series, he's officially a playoff riser. 27, 9, and 4 on 55% true shooting, up from 54 on the year.
And I mean, against this defense, but like really that is impressive, especially with how the first two games of this series went, where he was like, I think, yeah, I wrote it down. He was 3 of 11 from 3 in the first two games with, I mean, a bunch of turnovers that you kind of expect against a defense this good, but he poured it on in those last 5 games where, yeah. Okay, so from game 2 to game 5, he only shot 13 free throws, but then over the last 2 games, he shot 28 free throws, including 18 in game 7. So, yeah, he fucking cooked. There was a lot of very difficult shot making that I thought was super impressive. He's a good passer. I think his assist numbers understate the kind of passer that he is in this series because his team was pretty mid at like play finishing. He's obviously like a great drive and kick kind of passer, and Orlando is a really bad 3-point shooting team, and so that hindered how he looked from a box score standpoint. But yeah, over the last 5, he was 29, 10, and 4 on 56% true shooting, 45% from the field, 45% from 3, and 80% from the line. And yeah, he was like, 38 and 16 in game 7. It was him and Donovan Mitchell going at it, and they almost won. It was pretty close, but they kind of ran away with it at the end. So yeah, I thought Pablo rocked.
He did have a bad second half of game 7. He couldn't really score. Like he was like 1 for 7 or something, but the free throws kept him alive because they started putting a Coro on him, and he did a good job. But overall, pretty good series for him. So I feel better about him. I still don't know if I'm fully sold on like this is gonna be our guy, and he's gonna be competing against Embiid, against Giannis, against whoever comes out of the West. But this is a good step forward.
Yeah. I'm sold.
Franz has to do something.
Yeah, that was my next point. It's like, first of all, game 7 specifically, Franz and Suggs fucking sucked. I believe 16 points on 3 of 28 shooting. 3 of 28. That is so just absolutely nothing in the way of offense. I want to go back. I haven't gotten a chance to track. They combined for 10 assists. I am curious how many of those assists were finished by Pablo. Because, like, if even, like, 3 of them are Pablo finishes, then, yeah, there's just, like, I don't know. There's nothing offensively here. And so really, really rough series from Franz as a whole, which is sad. I had stock in him. I'm still holding on to it because his 3-point shooting last year, it gives me faith that he could, like, bounce back. But, damn, just a tough series. In a series where Cleveland's game plan was to stop Pablo. Franz had the ability to score here if he had it like that, and he just did not.
He had it for like 1 game. He was like
game 5 he was really good. I think he had like 30, I believe. Yeah, 34 in game 4 it was. They blew out the Cavs at home.
And it was legit. Like it wasn't like fully manufactured by Pablo, which he's had some games like that in the past where they just double Pablo and he kicks it to Franz and he attacks the gaps. He was like taking Evan Mobley off the dribble and stuff like that. So he has these moments, but I don't know. He's got to get that. They got a lot of jump shooting woes.
No kidding. Yeah, I'm sad. I always called him the White Paul George. I'm revoking that nickname. You gotta hit like 32% of your threes if you want to be the White Paul George. I don't care how fluid you look or how cool you are defensively. It just doesn't matter at that point. Yeah. Other than that, Cleveland stuff. Enough offensive help for Donovan Mitchell to get the job done in Game 7. Max Strus had 13 on 72% true shooting. Karis LeVert poked his head up offensively. He had like 15, 5, and 4 on 62% true shooting. And then our boy, oh my God, white boy of the millennium, Sam Merrill. Tell me you tuned in. Tell me you saw 8 points, 140% true shooting, baby.
He can't teach that.
You can't teach. It's intangibles, man. 2 of 2 from 3. He doesn't know how to miss. The hoop is the size of an ocean at this point.
He went 0 for 5 in Celtics game 1, but that's not canon.
No, that's not canon. Celtics white magic, I guess. Oh, because of Derrick White, not even because of white people, even though there's a lot of that. Yeah, that's all I thought on Cavs Magic. That's all my thoughts on that. Do you have any final closing ideas?
Mitchell, this was a good playoff series for Mitchell, all things considered. But like, yeah, 29, 5-4 on 55% true shooting. So with the injury, I think that's fine, all things considered. But I have officially recalibrated him. Even though this is against an elite defense, I was still holding out hope that maybe there's a world where Donovan Mitchell is our Dwayne Wade, is the Dwayne Wade of our generation. But I think it's over. I think the dream is
playing
over.
in Minnesota, baby.
Yeah. And he dropped 50 in game 6. He dropped 39 in game 7. He took over down stretch of game 7. He was like, that second half was just him getting all the way to the rim. And he was like, he went to the same section of the crowd over and over. And when Darius Garland hit a shot, he went there too. I wonder if that's like their family or something.
Yeah.
But he was a good leader. Darius Garland was missing everything, and he was like, "No, you're still good. Get back on the horse." And then Darius Garland made a big shot, and he's like, he was relieved. It was good vibes for Donovan Mitchell.
I saw a tweet that was like, "We're lucky Garland is secure enough to not feel emasculated by this blatant little broism." With that clip of Donovan Mitchell, he had his arm around Garland. He was like, "You could do this. You could do," and I was like, "Well." It just seems like you guys have never been around somebody who's like better at basketball than you are, because I feel
he's older.
yeah. He's like 4.
He is the big bro.
Yeah. So like I don't know.
He's physically bigger.
Yeah. So Garland. I mean, let's see. All right, I'll put a timestamp on this. Orlando. I feel the same way I felt about them 3 months ago. I just am higher on Pablo now. I feel like they're a young team that was playing with house money this year. And even if they just straight run it back, which they probably won't do, they will probably make an offseason addition in the form of Klay Thompson, Malik Monk, whoever.
Get Trae Young.
Get Trae Young? You're on the Trae Young to Orlando train?
I've been thinking about it. I think it could work out because Paulo as a short roller would be good. And then also I think it could be good for Trae to walk into a situation where they're like, this is the Paulo team. So you gotta play off ball, buddy. And so when the entire defense shifts towards Paulo, because they're like, God, that guy weighs a lot. We got to get some bodies over there. Then he kicks out to Trae. That could be some good stuff.
And they're like, that guy weighs a lot too. He's bulked up so much since he came into the league. Oh my God.
That guy's so brave.
He's so brave. Is that a finger scar? Oh my God.
So I support it.
You support what?
I support Trae to Orlando. And he almost went there in the draft.
Oh, he did? Okay. Well, yeah, that's good. I support Trae. I mean, I don't know what Atlanta's going to do. It sucks because Trae, he's not Embiid caliber player, but it does feel like the kind of player that you very rarely draft. And so I just don't really know like what Atlanta is. Is Orlando's draft capital really that impactful?
Well, yeah, going forward, they'll probably be a pretty good team. And they used up all the Bulls picks. So, but I mean, the Hawks are run by a nepotism baby. Right? So who knows what they're gonna do?
Probably something stupid. All right, we can timestamp it. Calm little 118, and let's talk Cavs Celtics. Woo! The most exciting thing in the world. All right, game 1, Tatum stinks, Donovan Mitchell cooks. None of those things matter. How'd you feel about this?
Derrick White. What if Derrick White spends this entire playoff run as the best player, as the best two-way player, and he wins a championship as the best player on this team? What if it happens?
I have a tweet that I have not deleted that says every coach in the league would happily take Derrick White over Kyrie Irving, and so I'll spin the block back on that. If Derrick, it definitely hasn't aged super poorly. Like Kyrie hasn't returned to being like 30 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting. Yeah. So I mean, shout out to Derrick White, man. He has been killing it. 25 points, 5 assists, 78% true shooting. Just every
He's
single
hit 23s in his last 3 games. The only other players to do that in playoff history were Steph Curry 3 times, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, and playoff Jamal.
Fuck. Don't talk to me about playoff Jamal. I don't want to reminisce right now. Yeah, he's rocked every time Cleveland. It was like a 10-point game most of the game, and every time Cleveland was like 7 points, 8 points, 9 points away, it just felt like a Derrick White 3 that just like put him back up 12 or 13 or whatever. He fucking killed it. Donovan Mitchell had 33 in 3 quarters, including 16 points in the third quarter by himself, and the game just did not feel that close. They really missed Jared Allen's pick and roll scoring. They do not have like a consistent offensive presence outside of Donovan Mitchell at this point. We can get to Darius Garland. Does he suck now? Is he just straight up bad?
He's not what he was. And so I'm lower on him than I was. I did see there's this guy I follow who's Korean, and he's like a biomechanics expert. He does draft stuff, and so he was saying that because you know how Darius Garland like broke his jaw, he was saying that the jaw is linked with grip strength or something like that. So it's linked with the hands somehow. So it could be residuals of that, but overall, it's just. He's another guy who needs to shoot more. He needs to let it fly more, because when he catches off the ball and the defenders close out to him and he beats him off the closeout, obviously, because he's a good shooter and he's quick. But then he gets in the paint and I'm like, okay, what happens from here? Because not what I mean.
There's
I don't. Nothing.
Audio only listeners are freaking the fuck out right now.
I'm shrugging every time, guys. Picture it. It's like Bill Simmons with the wings
on. Yeah. It's just so I wonder what his percentages on floaters were in his All-Star season. Was he just like burying them? Or what? Or was like his pick and roll? Because Jared Allen was there the year he was an All-Star, correct?
Yes, I think so.
Because when he is in the paint with Jared Allen, it feels comfortable. It feels like something good will probably happen. Whether it's a lob, whether it's Garland getting the ball up on the rim, and Allen can clean up the offensive glass. It feels like a fine set. When he is in the paint with Mobley, it feels totally different. Like it just does not feel like it feels like nothing good could possibly happen. Why is this guy on the floor right now? And so I don't know. There's been a lot of buzz about him getting moved this offseason. Maybe New Orleans was a suitor that I've seen thrown around online a lot. I don't know how I feel about that, but right now, just not a lot of offensive help for a team that desperately needs it. Through the first 3 quarters, that's what I looked at for this game, because the fourth quarter was kind of a wash. Garland was 12 points, 3 assists on 5 of 13 shooting. And then I also said I am comfortable at this point. I'm an Evan Mobley guy from way back, from when he did a backflip on the beach, and I was like, holy shit, why is a 7-footer? He's too cool. This is too cool. I am comfortable criticizing Evan Mobley for not doing enough offensively right now.
I think he's so I've recalibrated on all of their players. So Donovan Mitchell, no longer a guy who I think can be an absolute number 1 at the highest level. Darius Garland, I don't know what he is, but he's not. That's probably his lone All-Star appearance. I would assume. I don't know. I think he's
super cool. Cast of players. The one-time All-Star. That's a very fun list.
And then Evan Mobley, I had concerns about the offense coming out of the draft, so I was never quite as sold on him being like a franchise player as a lot of other smarter people than me were. So maybe he'll still turn it around.
Or maybe those people are dumb and you're smart, is what you're saying.
Maybe Killian Hayes number one.
Nice.
But yeah, if he's just a lob threat, if he's just a play finisher, and his passing has not looked that great this playoffs, that was supposed to be a strength.
Jared Allen has been objectively a better passer this year. I feel like Jared Allen consistently 1 or 2 times a game makes a pass where I'm like, whoa, that's like a great pass for a big man. Evan Mobley, maybe once a week from him. Like, he's a fine passer, but you want more out of a guy who's that strong in the draft at that.
And he's a step slow sometimes. He's just a Jarrett Allen level player. Like, he's not. I just don't think he's a franchise savior. I think he's a piece that you have, but I don't know if is he untouchable for them in trades? Not that. I don't know who's trading for who's an Evan Mobley away from contending. But yeah,
especially I wonder, has he been like seriously extended yet? Because like if you trade for Mobley and you have to pay him and you just get like another middling season out of him, that could be like a real confusing situation to be in. But yeah, I don't love the Cavs.
It's not like he's bad. I feel like maybe I was a little too like, it's not like he's a bad player. He's obviously a really good defensive player, but he's I don't know how much he dictates the direction of your franchise going forward.
Yeah, I think this playoff run and just like the last couple months, when I looked at this from Cleveland's perspective, I was always kind of like, well, you probably opt to move forward if you had to make a decision between these players. You pick the guys with the huge upside that you drafted. I don't know if I feel that way anymore. I feel like if
the ceiling of a Garland Evan Mobley team, it doesn't feel like either. It feels like that's your 2 and 3, and there's got to be another guy.
Yeah, right now it feels like if Evan Mobley turned into who Jared Allen is right now, if like that was the apex of what Evan Mobley hits, like that's not the perfect arc of his career, but like that's a good result. Like, he could be a worse player than that, no question to me. I think Jared Allen's like really, really good right now, and so I think I would probably hold on to Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell if I had to pick between those two like pairings. And then moving off of Mobley and Garland, maybe I think Mitchell could be like a number 1 with just like a super deep, talented defensive team around him. I'm not.
That's what this is, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's nearly as like. I think talent-wise, like if you look on paper, it's like, oh, Garland and Mobley, that's like super deep, but they are so overlapping in their skill sets between what all of these guys do well. Like, Mobley and Allen don't maximize each other on the floor. Garland and Mitchell, Garland theoretically with the floor spacing he could provide might, but they don't maximize what each other does on the floor. And Garland is so bad defensively that like he actively makes you much worse on that end. I think it's close, but yeah, I think like if Donovan Mitchell was playing at this level offensively on the Timberwolves, they would be worse. But I think they would still be like in the realm where if shit lined up well for them, they could make a run at the title. And I just think Cleveland is not that right now.
How would you feel? How do you think Ja Morant versus Donovan Mitchell?
I would go Ja Morant.
Yeah, I would too. But and that's something I wouldn't have said before.
I don't know. That's tricky. I wonder. I would love to have seen Ja Morant go up against that Magic team. And that feels like it would just be an absolute rock fight of a series where he is like 49.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, 49% true shooting, but like 30 points per game and like 4 cool dunks per game. Like, Jonathan Isaac questions his love for basketball by the end of it. Yeah, I miss Ja Morant. That sucks. So yeah, but I still like Donovan Mitchell and everything. It's crazy that we're talking about this series. It's game 1 just ended. We are talking about the Cavs as a retrospective right now. How do you feel about their chances in this series against the Celtics?
They're non-existent.
Yeah, with the Heat, it was
Their
easy.
coach is going to get fired.
I didn't realize he had a great quote that somebody commented on one of my TikToks that was like, in-game adjustments are optional or something like that, where it was just like, whoa, that's a
That's
really,
true.
I mean, it's true in the sense that like talking to your team is optional, I guess, like breathing is optional, but if as a coach who wants to keep his job, maybe optional kind of loses its meaning in that sec. I think it was easy for like the Miami series to be like they aren't going to win this, but like, oh, Miami Black Magic, they got a game, blah blah blah. It's a lot harder. Cleveland doesn't have the history of Cleveland Black Magic, and so it's just harder to like have any kind of hope or fun angle for this. It just feels like they're completely outclassed. And again, Tatum played like in the Miami series, I felt like they were throwing the kitchen sink to get the ball out of Tatum's hands. And they were like, Tatum isn't going to get hot. Tatum isn't going to beat us. That's our best shot at winning a game. In this game against Cleveland, I felt like Tatum was missing a lot of makeable shots for him, especially inside the paint. And it just didn't matter. Cleveland was never that close.
He was, but they still were shifting the defense towards him. They were like, don't beat us, Jason Tatum, and he was cooking them with the passes. Jaylen Brown had a big game one. Good for a guy you're paying $60 million to. He said this is a revenge series. He's like, this is revenge for 2018. I'm like, no one's there except for Tristan Thompson. How is this revenge?
That is so funny. It's revenge. Literally against Tristan Thompson, against the city of Cleveland, and like the downtrodden folks of Cleveland, Ohio. You really have to twist the knife that they were okay in 2018. They were good. They had LeBron, but yeah, I don't think taking revenge on them right now is the morally correct thing to do.
It was 6 years ago, and you were not Jaylen Brown yet, and LeBron's not here. How does it not feel like you're in a different country?
Yeah. Was
Namias Keita, speaking of different country, Namias Keita was the first Portuguese player to ever score in the playoffs.
Cool. Hell yeah. Shout out to Portugal, man. Shout out to Brazil, which we already touched on for speaking Portuguese. Yeah. Beyond that, I don't have like a ton. Oh, we do have a lobby request. Henry Blythe said the Cavs have done enough with all the injuries this season to convince Mitchell to re-sign. Have they?
I don't think so. I think the vibes are poor. I think he wants to be in Miami.
I think so too, man. Like, I mean,
especially considering the Brunson angle, like he wants to be in New York and he's looking at Brunson. He's like, I was literally doing this in Utah. I was literally in the bubble doing that. That's supposed to be me, but nobody cared because I was in Utah. Nobody cares because I just dropped 52 with the Cavs. No one cares because I'm in Cleveland. I gotta be somewhere cool.
Yeah. Oh man. And you just have like more faith in Miami from like a bunch of different perspectives. Like you have more faith in Jimmy Butler next to you as a playoff performer. You have more faith in the front office to find and maintain a talented roster around you. Whereas like
more faith in the government not taking your hard-earned
exactly, you have
comments.
so much freedom down in Florida. You can't read a book. You can't get an abortion. You can vote still, probably, but I don't know for how long.
No state income tax.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's all.
Drive a car on the beach.
Hey, hell yeah! You get a house on that cool island where all the other celebrities have a house.
It'll be gone in 2 years, but it'll be sick.
He's like, so will I. I'm going in New York. I'm coming, baby. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense if I'm Donovan Mitchell to like re-sign here. If the goal is to win a title or even just like make deep playoff runs, you're backpacking this roster that has, I mean, Jared Allen is hurt. Yes. 2 of the 3 I mean, is Mobley hurt? Is Garland hurt?
Garland,
No.
Garland, you could argue maybe he's still hurt, but Mobley, I think, is fine.
Yeah, and they're just not good.
Dean Wade is hurt.
Dean Wade is hurt. Maybe that's what this comment means by all of the injuries, is that Dean Wade off the bench, they don't have that 40%. Well, they're not playing Sam Merrill. Well, he did. He went over.
Maybe Bickerstaff has. Did you see the RFK news?
No, I did not.
It turns out he had a worm in his brain that ate parts of his brain. Like, literally.
That is so sick. He should win the presidency. Oh my God, that would be the most American thing I could. But this man is missing his brain, and he's in the most powerful office in America.
And I saw some other. I think he's conservative because he retweeted like some national debt BS.
Staff is
no. This politician I saw on Twitter. He tweeted out, you either when you're a Kennedy, you either die with a bullet hole in your head or you live long enough to have a worm eat it. With a hole in your brain, or you live long enough to have a worm eat it. And people, they were so mad at him. They're like, we don't do this. We don't that's not civil. But I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, I saw conservatives. Apparently, like JFK's grandson or great.
I've been seeing his videos. He's kind of sick.
Well, like, is he gay?
I don't know,
because like that's the conservative thing. Is like JFK is probably rolling in his grave, looking at this guy right now, and all the comments are like, dude, JFK was super gay in real life. Like he had a live-in roommate and stuff, and so.
Well, no, he was not gay. So his friend would give him blowies, but he didn't blow his friend.
Officially not gay. That's the stance of the State of the League podcast. That's straight.
That's straight.
Straight.
Only if you reciprocate.
Yeah. Which God-fearing president of the United States, John F. Kennedy, did not do.
He's busy saving us from the Cold War.
Yeah, solving it. He's busy almost dissolving the CIA. I think that's why they killed him.
Oh yes, but J.B. Bickerstaff. The point is, I think a worm ate the part of his brain that tells you Sam Merrill is good.
I could see it. I could definitely see that. Where would you love to see Sam Merrill go? Where's an ideal landing spot for him?
Oh man, where do we begin? Sam Merrill for Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan would be sick. Sam Merrill. They could use him in Orlando.
That's what I was just gonna say. Him in Orlando, just like spamming threes off the bench. That could be chill.
Him in Golden State. He could go to Miami. He could literally fit anywhere. Everyone needs shooters and guys and Mormons who've been on missions.
Hell yeah, he's on it. That would be such a sick Jazz. Like if they were making deep playoff runs, we're on a mission, baby.
Nice.
We're on a mission. Yeah, I remember on Twitter, I got a comment that was like, when I said Sam Merrill should play, they were like, who is Sam Merrill, in quotes, going to guard on the Orlando Magic? And I was like, they just had a 50 to 15 second half, and you're worried about who he's going to guard? Dude, they need offense.
Oh, no, I hope Franz doesn't cook him.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Franz. He got separation and then bricked a three-pointer. Oh no! Oh my God! Yeah, nasty business. Shout out Franz Wagner. Shout out Sam Merrill. Is that literally all the playoff stuff right now? Do you have any final thoughts?
In the East, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, let me timestamp that real quick, and we can get an official Yap sesh going. Jujutsu Kaisen leaks tonight. Everybody, lock in.
Crap.
You better catch up. Dude, I had someone get mad. They said they were an anime-only watcher, and I mentioned Hikari, and they were like, stop spoiling. And I was like, how do you know you've never heard of him?
Well, no, they mention him, but they, like, just in passing.
That dumb upperclassman. He is stupid. I liked it when they released their grades. That made me laugh.
I love out of everything. That's the spoiler.
Yeah, I was literally like, I hope Hikari like rejoins the fight, and they were like, stop. And I was like, what? what do these words mean to you right now? Like if you
What?
if you
Like,
see,
do they know who the fight is?
yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I just saw Alien in theaters. If it's still in AMC theaters where you guys are at, go watch Alien. It's one of my favorite movies. I put it into my top 4 on Letterboxd after this experience.
Whoa.
It's revelatory. It's so sick in theaters.
It's a
Oh my god.
triumph.
Oh, it's a triumph, baby. It's like a testament. We should start putting movies on film again. That's what my girlfriend said, and she's smart about movies, so I listen to her.
I saw Civil War. Did you see Civil War?
Oh, we could talk about Civil War. I got 20 minutes in me about Civil War. How did you feel about it? I did see it.
So it didn't matter at all that it was an American Civil War. It was a movie about photojournalists.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it as well. And it's not that war journalism is like a worthless topic that does not deserve to have stories told about it. It is like the branding for the movie was like, this is like what if America right now dissolved into a civil war, this is like a movie about that. And there was literally like, there was no stance about anything.
And so my friend told me, I have a theory about this movie. So my friend told me that the director was super mad about how this movie has been received, and he said, I'm quitting. I'm done making movies. And this guy, he's made like Ex Machina and like other good stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's like super pissed about how this was received. And so I think it's because I think he really thought he was doing something. I think he thought like, yes, I'm going to trick everybody. I'm going to make this look like an action movie where it's about an American Civil War. And look, Nick Offerman is in this movie star, Kirsten Dunst. I'm going to trick the normies into coming into this movie, and then they're going to realize I've duped them, and this is actually a hard-hitting film with a message about the terrors of war and being a photographer in wartime. And so it doesn't even matter. So this is my great gambit. But the movie's just mid, kind of. It's not really a message.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. Because like, wonderfully crafted movie. I'll say
It
that.
looked good, yeah.
Beautiful, super cool shots, very good production design. But yeah, in terms of like, I walked out and I was like, so like, what am I? Not even what am I supposed to think? What were you trying to say? Like,
Yeah. What were you thinking?
Yeah. And like, I read a couple things where it was like, this movie is about how photojournalists are like conduits for the violence, and they're unbiased to a fault, even though like they should probably pick a side. And so like, it was kind of trying to display that. I just didn't.
But what did they impact? What did their indifference impact over the course of the story?
Literally the only thing I could think of in that regard was like, I wish they had done more stuff when they were at the gas station, and like the redneck was like, these guys were looters. We caught them a couple. Like, in different. That was very clearly like, oh, this is a morally abhorrent thing that's going on directly in front of them, and there's an argument that they have a responsibility to do something about this. That felt like the only moment in the whole movie where like they could have done anything. Like, the rest of it was like this huge scope of like a war that vastly, like, they were ants in.
And it was over by the end of it.
Yeah.
And like, we don't even know if that was good or not.
Yes. And I would have liked to know more.
How did California and Texas team up?
And
we don't know.
What was the president doing? Why is everyone kind of like actively rooting for the president to die? Are we like, I don't know. I get being unbiased. I don't get not telling us anything about what's going on.
And like, did you get attached to any of the characters? Did you like any of them? I was just kind of indifferent towards them all.
I thought Kristen Dunst's character was kind of cool. And
I feel like they tell us like, oh, she's a big deal, but I would have liked to know how. Like, what did she do? Like,
she photographed the Antifa massacre. Did you miss that? Come on, man. Oh my god, that was the defining moment.
the famous real militia, Antifa.
Yeah, I know they'll get you. That's scary. Yeah. Have a take, guys. If any of you guys are making movies and you're up and coming directors listening to the State of the League podcast, have a take. Say something. Be brave. Be brave, baby. I did like Annihilation though. That was another one of his movies. Did you see that?
I don't think so. Is that the one with Gina Rodriguez?
I think so. It's definitely got Natalie Portman in it. What'd you say? Is Gina Martinez? Is that who you said?
Rodriguez.
Gina Rodriguez. Is she in Annihilation?
Yeah.
Yes, she is. I'm getting information right now. She is in that. Yeah. They're like, it's like this like different dimension shit that's like overtaking the Earth, and they have to go in it to find Oscar Isaac, who's Natalie Portman's husband, in it. And it's cool. It's good. There's a part where like a bear is really scary and fucked up in it. Yeah, I think he's at his strongest, Alex Garland, in like the sci-fi genre, because Ex Machina is good too. And then his movie Men, that was like pretty poorly received as well. So yeah, no wonder he's quitting. He started making Mid. Come on, man.
His movie. I don't know what it's just everything about it is so weird.
Yeah, and I won't say like I have been to movies where I felt like it was a waste of time, and I didn't really feel that way about.
It wasn't bad, but
yeah, it was too loud. I didn't like that. I get that if I had gone to see Saving Private Ryan, I would have thought the beach scene was too loud too. I'm sure of it. It's too loud, guys. My ears hurt. So yeah, but it didn't feel like a waste of an afternoon. I would tell people to go see it so you could have an opinion on it, but don't go in. The branding probably fucked up my expectations for it a little bit.
It'd be one thing if it was like a cool, like, if it's just the movie he made is lamer than the movie he promoted.
Yeah, the trailers look sick. Sweet, hell yeah. And then there was very rarely a point in the movie where I was like, hell yeah. So yeah, kind of a letdown on that front.
And at the end with the president, like the whole mission of this movie is they want to have the last interview with the president, right? They want to be for history. But then at the end, it's like there was nothing even that wasn't even a substantive. There was no substance with that goal. Like all you need is a quote. I thought he was going to stop them and be like, "Let's talk with Mr. President," but no, he was just like, hey, "Hold on, I need a quote." He's like, "Don't kill me," and then he's like, "Good."
Fucking popped his ass. Yeah, that could have been a cool, heartfelt scene. You could have asked him some hard-hitting questions, but then we would have needed exposition, which this movie felt afraid of. So
this movie is the anti-One Piece. There's no world building at all.
Okay. Hey,
and
you want world
care
building?
About the characters, and there's no pirate ships.
You want world building? Watch Alien, baby. It's so sick. If you like science fiction, if you like cool, like the Alien's cool because it's Cowboy Bebop pilled. Like it's grimy space, retro futurism. They're like a mining, like a trucker operation in space, pretty much, and the ship is there's like a lot of super dirty aspects of it. So that's cool, and the company's really cool, and all the characters rock, and all the practical effects are sick. Yeah. So watch Alien instead of Civil War. That's what I would say. I really love. There's a cool scene where it's like raining in the ship. It's very beautiful, and I was like, "Whoa, this is sick."
Shout out Alien.
Shout out Alien. Fuck it. Here, let me pull up Patreon real quick. I'll see if we got any. Let me scroll through. Oh yeah, I saw you posted Alex Sarr. How do you feel about Alex Sarr right now? I haven't read it yet.
Alex, I think these and they're tell me if the links work. When I click on them on my phone, some of the streamable links are not working. I don't know if it's like that for everybody or just on my phone. But the I think these playoffs are proving.
Oh, and my computer opened the clip with noise, but yeah, it worked.
No.
Watch Alex Sarr rim protection.
Nice. I think these playoffs are proving why having someone like him would be super duper valuable, even if he doesn't end up a franchise player savior. Like just having a 7'1" guy with a 7'5" wingspan who can fly around, who can guard people on the perimeter, who can block shots. It'll be crazy.
Yeah, that would be sick. Yeah, I'll need to check that out. I wonder. Damn. I hope the Wizards get. Hey, shout out to the Wizards. I got the hat on. I'll take
The
Alex
lottery
Sarr.
is pretty soon. I think it's in a few days, like 5 days or something.
Yeah, it's weird. I saw someone was like, it's weird that the Thunder are like playing in the second round and also going to have a representative at the lottery. Like that's just very interesting. So I wonder what they're gonna do, because if you're like the Thunder and you get like a top 3 pick this year or something crazy, which I don't know what the chances are or anything, do you think they're better off like moving that and trying to? They're already so deep and so talented. I just don't know what I would do if I was them.
Well, so I think they could be an Alex Sarr landing spot if they got the chance, because his brother is on their roster, and they have Chip England, so they have the best shooting coach, and like they've gotten big time results from all their shooters. So Alex Sarr has a legit chance to become a shooter, and then defensively, he would be amazing to pair with Chet Holmgren, and like he can kind of like he could fit into their style of play, I think, and like just be like fill that Josh Giddey void. So I think if they had a chance to get him, I think it'd be crazy. But outside of him, I don't know. I could also see them making some kind of big trade with the just because they can't have all these guys on the roster.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like if anybody needs any development, it's almost hard because there's already so many guys who like actively deserve touches on like
Yeah.
I already feel like Isaiah Joe is probably not getting the ball quite as much as like
he's better than Giddey.
Yeah, dude, and Giddey has like that's one thing that stuck out to me. Even though Minnesota has beat the brakes off of Denver, which we'll talk about tomorrow, Kyle Anderson has largely been what Giddey like I expected Giddey to be. Giddey shot the ball well in the first round of the playoffs, like low volume, and he was wide open the entire time, but he punished them when New Orleans left him open. And Kyle Anderson has not done that quite as much, although it really hasn't mattered. And so even Giddey, like if you're Oklahoma City, like he's done quality stuff when he's touched the basketball a lot. And so yeah, already having him and Isaiah Joe and all these guys like clashing for the basketball to add another guy who's like, oh, I need developmental touches into that mix. That might be kind of tricky.
I wonder if this could be. This thought is brought to you by.
Oh, the car's turn. Okay, sweet. That's how we know we're reaching the end of the episode, people.
I wonder if this could be a year where good teams trade up, because the cost won't be that high, and maybe you get a guy you're hopeful can contribute on a like maybe the Nuggets, if they end up losing, maybe they're like, how much would it cost to get Alex Sarr? We need, or how much would it cost to get somebody, or how much would it cost to get a different Nikola Topic, the other Nikola? How much would it cost to get some kind of perimeter shot creation? Because we actually don't really have that when Jamal Murray's dead. So
yeah, it's not been great. I don't know. I hope so. I hope that this will be an interesting offseason because there's not that many high big name free agents, but a lot of teams have issues that they do need to address. So I am just curious how that works out.
Who's going to be on the move? So Paul George could be on the move. LeBron could be on the move. Jimmy Butler could be on the move.
Klay Thompson's a free agent. Malik Monk's a free agent. James Harden is a free agent. Tobias Harris is a free agent.
Kevin Durant could be on the move.
Kevin Durant.
DeMar DeRozan, God save us, could be a free agent.
Well, that's your franchise savior. Come on, man. You're just a piece away. You're just a piece away. Settle down.
Oh.
All right, we can close on this. What is Nas Reed's name? He wants to know what's the best meal you ate this week. I'd have to think about this for a second. I have really. Oh yeah, we went to this Ethiopian restaurant called Churcher. It rocked. I got like stewed.
Now you're gonna have shooters camped out there.
No, they'll be fine. Churcher's chill. And I don't have ops like that. That my ops are not going to slide on me at Ethiopian food. But if they wanted to,
I don't know. This is your downfall. Right now in the series, they're like, I hate Jokic and I hate that guy.
Fuck. I opened the door, and Nikhil Alexander Walker standing. You thought you could escape.
You can't get your pickup order.
No. Yeah, but I went, and this was literally the day after I hurt my knee. Like. Maybe
what happened with your knee?
Okay, so I was playing basketball and I just tried to plant my foot and it completely like buckled the wrong direction. And so right now it's fine. It doesn't hurt that much. I'm like icing it and elevating, just trying to take care of it. I'm supposed to be getting an MRI, but most of the places around me can't get me in for like a month. So I don't even know what I'm going to do on that front. But literally the day after.
And guys, by the way, we can't have universal health care because there will be crazy wait times.
No, we can't do it. We can't do it.
We definitely don't have them right now.
Yeah, no, because if it was universal, it'd be a year. This is the fast version, is a month from now. And so yeah, I went to dinner because my friend came into town and visited us, and we went out to this place. And I was like, I didn't know if I was gonna go. Because there were stairs at the front of the restaurant. I knew that, like six steps, and I have crutches and shit now, but I was still a little bit sketched out. I was like, I don't know. Fuck it, I'll go. It's just 6 steps. I can handle 6 steps. We get in there, and the guy sees me, and he goes, we have a table for you guys. It's upstairs. And I was like, I thought we were upstairs. He opens this door that looks like it's like a janitor closet type thing. It is a comical set of steps. It looks like we are ascending to heaven, and it goes around a corner at the top. And so I was just like, I guess I'll do that. And so yeah, I made it up and down fine. I had to take my time on it. It was a little embarrassing, but the food was worth it. Church,
breaking news! Thanasis Antetokounmpo has torn his Achilles.
Oh shit! Well, I hope he doesn't try to go to church or anytime soon. He's not going to be able to make.
There's a lot of stairs there.
Watch out, man. Watch out. Damn, that's crazy. It's always crazy to me when like a bench guy like just practicing too hard, I guess.
He's lost. He's out of a job officially. Then you better get that podcast going.
I mean, he could. I wonder, will Milwaukee keep him on just because of Giannis, you think?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know what his contract situation is. They'll keep him on to get him covered by insurance.
I wonder what the conversation will be like when Thanasis is like, oh, sweet, what are we doing heading into the season? And Giannis is like, dude, I have indirectly earned you $8 million by this point. I think I got to prioritize the competition of the team. Not that the 11th man or whatever.
The 15th man.
Yeah, not that guy routinely contributes that much, but it is pretty crazy. That's just straight up a nepotism guy at this point in Milwaukee.
The best thing I ate this week. What have I eaten? Yesterday, I had some Sonic corn dogs.
I haven't had a Sonic corn dog in years.
I might be entering a corn dog era. I might be going into one. Corn dogs are so good.
At Nationals Park, they have like Korean corn dogs. They're a new thing on the menu. I've never had one before.
I've had them. They're sick.
All right, I might have to tap into that next time I go to a Nats game. Yeah, corn dogs are pretty good. We don't have a Sonic by us. I miss Sonic. That's a yummy, like, good place for drinks and stuff.
Yeah, they only recently built one by me, so now I just remembered its existence.
It's a summer thing.
It's a
So
summer thing.
all summer long, you're Sonic pilled. Okay. All right. You got any closing thoughts for these people? We're closing an hour 58. You guys will be all right. I promise.
I think we're good.
All right. Patreon.com/state of the league. If you got
Guys,
bread like that,
please go over there, please.
I think we're up a little bit. Let me check.
Yeah, we're
I
up
think
a little bit. We got some
we're
new
at like
guys.
126 is where we're at. 126
yeah.
lobbyists. Oh my gosh! Somebody's eating sunflower seeds next to
And
me.
remember, guys, at 100 million members, we form a militia and we kill your team's owner.
100, dude. I'll go in at 10,000. I feel like our people are powerful. I feel like
well, no, I'm thinking more like buying a militia. I feel like an army of basketball dweebs might not be enough.
Yeah, we might need to outfit them with a little bit of military tech. So yeah, patreon.com/state
We gotta
of the
buy
league.
the IDF once they're out of commission.
Oh, sweet. We'll buy low on that. I feel like any day now, it's gonna dip and we'll be in there. All right. We'll see you guys. If you got bread like that, we'll see you tomorrow. But if you're broke, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Go to your job. Go to work.
Go get $5 and then we'll talk. Talk to me then. Bye.